Hey everyone, this is Mike with patch 5.45. We of course saw our new relic weapons step, but we also got new Skysteel tools added for both the crafters and the gatherers. Now for today's video I'm just going to be focusing on the crafter ones, and then later down this week when I finish off my gathering tools, that's when I'll also be talking about the gathering ones. So just like before, we go to the Skysteel manufactory inside of Ishgard to start our quest. And then once you've started the quest over there, you go to the firmament, which is of course our new gathering and crafting hub, and then you can complete the quest over there. Once you've completed one of the quests, the following quests that you will undertake for both your crafter and your gathering tools will all start inside of the firmament. So if you lose track of where the quests are, basically all of them will be in the firmament. If you have a crafter quest active, you also can't start a gathering one, or the other way around as well. If you have a gathering quest active, you can't start a crafter relic for this final step either. So do keep that in mind. If you're like wanting to do multiple relics at the same time, you need to do it one relic at a time. This time around, when it comes down to crafting specific things to get the items for your relic step, it's gonna be pretty much the same as before. You just craft a bunch of collectibles, you turn in those collectibles for items. The higher your collectability rating is, the more items you are going to get. But this time around there's not a huge variety on it. You can either get 1, 2 or 3 items depending on your collectability. The biggest difference this time around though is the fact that we're doing master recipes, or expert recipes I believe they are called, meaning that the crafts are going to be a whole lot harder. I personally did not use a macro this time around, which is why I also won't be providing a macro in this video, but I will be leaving a link in the description to a Google document for an explanation of how expert crafts work and how the different status effects that you can get on these crafts as well interact with what you want to be doing basically. So I personally manually crafted everything. Didn't really take that long. You need 60 items in total. I usually went for the 2 item turn-in, so like the middle down the road. Sometimes I would even get a 3 item collectability rating, but for pretty much all of my crafts I was able to get 2 items at least, unless I really did something stupid and I only got 1 of them. But that was really because I just didn't really have any experience with expert recipes before, because this was the first time that I did expert recipes. Of course, if you've been taking part in the Ishgardian restoration and you were going for rankings, then you've probably got quite a bit of experience with expert recipes so far. So basically, quick rundown if you don't know what they are basically normal crafting recipes, but instead of just having your good, excellent and poor conditions, there are a few new conditions that interact with, for example, durability loss, reducing the CP cost of certain abilities, or for example granting you a higher success chance on other abilities as well, so that you can use things like hasty touch, rapid synthesis, that kind of stuff. You basically want to be using different abilities depending on what conditions you get on your items. As for the stuff that you need to actually craft these new crafts or these new recipes, I will be needing 3 items. 2 of them can be obtained inside of the diadems. If you want, you can go in there. Now I would only recommend you do this if you want to go for all of the different crafting tools, because of course if you're only going for one, for example, to just done it for the achievement or because you just wanted to do this piece of content, then gathering stuff inside the diadem is kind of annoying, because you're gonna be rotating around the map quite a bit and you're gonna be gathering a lot of different items. So if you want to specifically focus on farming materials for this, it's kind of impossible to do that inside of the diadem. Of course, leftovers you can always sell those on the market board if you want to do so, but if you're only going after one relic, I would suggest you just buy stuff from the market board, because right now stuff is pretty cheap, at least on my server, depending on what items that you are going for. So you can totally do that if you want to do so. Of course, if you want to get a bunch of different relics, you can go inside of the diadem, just gather as much as you want, and then you'll have a lot of the items necessary for the crafts themselves. If you're going for like how much you need to gather, basically aim for 30 item turn-ins, give or take. That basically makes it so that if you get the 3 turn-in, that's good. If you then fail a craft here or there, then it won't be too bad either. But I think 30 turn-ins is a good spot to aim for. If you're wondering whether or not the gathering relic kind of interacts with this as well, because for the gathering relic you will also need to go inside of the diadem, but there is a special place inside of the diadem to gather for your gathering relic that does not have the other materials in there. So I first thought, okay, maybe I should do a gathering relic first, because you need to go inside the diadem, might as well gather the other materials that are there, but that's not the case. everything is in its special place for the Gathering Relic itself. So those are the items that you need from inside of the diadem. There's 2 of them for each relic, and then there is also a 3rd item that you can buy with either yellow scripts or with Sky Builder's tool. So if you're doing the diadem to actually gather the materials themselves, you of course get Sky Builder scripts when you approve those materials, and then you can use those Sky Builder scripts to buy that 3rd material. I'm personally gonna do it with the yellow script way, because I'm just going to be doing those weekly custom deliveries and then focus on the NPCs that give me the most yellow scripts that week, and then buy the items that way, pretty much how I've been doing it for all of these other relic steps that we have had so far, because it usually allows you to do 1 relic per week. I didn't do the calculations this time around because I also didn't know I only needed 30 items instead of 60, because I didn't look at the turn-in race, like how many items you got per turn-in, but basically I'm just going to be doing it on a week-by-week basis, and then once I've collected a bunch of the materials, that's when I'll just sit down and craft away. It didn't really take all that long. Expert recipes I think is a pretty cool way to also close down this relic tool like questline, so to speak. I have heard that there will be more expert recipes coming in 5.5, but I'm not quite sure if that's still going to be about the crafting relic itself. If it is, then I'll of course have an updated video on that. But as far as we know, this is the final step for our Skysteel tools. Of course, if 5.5 brings out a next step, again, I'll just have a video on that as well. But that's pretty much going to do it for this one. There's going to be expert recipes this time around. You need 60 items in total. I would try to get the double turn-ins per item, definitely not that hard to achieve. If I can do it, anyone can, because I'm definitely not a great crafter, and this was my first time interacting with the expert recipes as well. But that's gonna do it for this video. If any more questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below, and I'll definitely get back to you. But on that note, I want to thank you for watching, I want to thank my Patreons for their support, and I'll see you in the next one.